Yeah. Like I remember when I was like 6 years old, I made myself a salad, but my salad was just grabbing a head of lettuce from the fridge and just eating it like an apple for some reason. I don't know why I thought that was a great idea.
I have the exact same memory.
Okay, great. We're on the same vibe.
Yeah, I 100% remember sitting like crisscross applesauce, like watching cartoons, like just ripping into this head of lettuce.
Oh my God, it's like looking in a mirror.
Hello and welcome to the Knotty Podcast. We're your hosts, Elle Harlow and
Tiana Sage.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We're going to get a little unhinged, talking about sex, dating, love lives. We're going to swing it on over to a little fashion, pop culture, and news. I think we should just dive in and get started.
Hell yeah.
Am I the asshole for not wanting a 50-50 relationship? I, female 24, am currently in a very loving relationship with my boyfriend, male 25, of almost 3 years. Let's call him Alan. When we met, Alan and I were both college students, but now I'm a lawyer with a master's degree and in the middle of getting another college degree. Meanwhile, he is still in the middle of his studies. He still has 3 more years to go before finishing. This year, I invested a big chunk of my savings and opened my own space with some colleagues. I don't earn much, but I do my best. The thing is when I say it's a 50-50 relationship, I mean that we both pay for stuff in a proportional way to our income.
Right.
I pay fully for the expensive things, and he pays for the stuff whenever he can. For example, I pay for full course dinners and trips and other activities, while he will treat me to ice cream or a food truck burger whenever he can.
Oh boy.
Let's say 3 times a month. Honestly, I don't mind because he's a very loving person and I enjoy spending time with him. And I can't ask for more since he is a student. The thing is, Alan is behind on his studies because he abandoned another degree halfway through, twice.
Oh, okay.
I think it's fine for me to pay since I actually earn money, and he won't earn some for another 3 years. But recently, I have seen so many people online saying how 50-50 is not good, and a lot of family and friends have told me that I am blind to reality because I am in love.
Oof.
Alan gets mad at me for wanting to see him regularly during the week because he feels bad that he has no money for eating out or doing things. Also, I am kind of sad because for our anniversary, I took him to a fancy Airbnb, and he only paid for his half of the meal at dinner and told me he wanted to buy me a ring. A common thing I hear from him. How is he thinking of taking me somewhere, or like, how will he someday buy me something? So I turn to strangers for your take on this. Do I need to address this with Alan? Would I be the asshole for pointing out how much money is become more and more of a problem? I'm afraid that I would be seen as shallow for feeling bad about not keeping nice things for him. Also keep in mind, I'm not in the US. Both of us still live with our parents because it's common to do here until we get married or reach our 30s. That is a lot.
That is a lot. I kind of feel for her. I'm going to say not the asshole for wanting to bring this up, because I think there's a way that you can like talk about this with your partner maturely, right? Like she's got reason to feel this way, in my personal opinion. Because that's difficult, especially like if he's a student, but he abandoned his studies twice. That's not good. That's not a good record.
That to me is that's the red flag right there. It's not that you're a student and you're bettering yourself, is that we've abandoned ship twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think in true Reddit, am I the asshole form? I think everyone sucks here. He sucks because he can't seem to get it together, and she sucks because I think she's enabling him a little bit.
Oh, I didn't think about it that way, because that's a good point. Yeah.
Because he still gets to do all the fun things.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have to pay for any of them.
Yeah, especially with like the anniversary thing where he only paid for his side of the meal. Like, that's a tricky one. I think like a relationship doesn't necessarily have to be 50-50, but it depends on the relationship and the agreement that you have in the relationship. Like there's like partners that'll take up more of that percentage of paying for things because they want to. So I think it really boils down to like what you're looking for in that relationship and like having an open conversation with these people, right?
Yeah, I think the communication is going to be like the cinch pin here. Yeah. It's I have a feeling that if she brings it up to him, it's not going to go well.
Maybe not.
It's especially, saying that like he feels bad and he can't do this and he doesn't want to see her throughout the week.
Yeah.
It just feels like there's a lot of avoidance to the topic of conversation.
100%.
And if she brings it up, it's not going to go well.
Yeah, sadly. Yeah, you can kind of get that vibe. And the thing is, too, is like not wanting to see her during the week. You can do stuff that's not super expensive. Like, we were even talking earlier about how you went like apple picking or like just going to like a corn maze. Like that stuff is like what? Like, well, I mean, now it's probably like $15, but like that's like nothing. Or you could just go and like watch a movie at home. Like you don't have to, go and do extravagant stuff all the time. But
I mean, I get also like there's a hindrance or like an obstacle in the way for that because they both said that they live at home. So like I can see that being like crush the vibe of a hangout.
That's true, especially at home.
You know, mom's yelling if have you put your socks in the laundry? Like
you have to leave the door open. So my mom was like that. You have to leave the door open. I was like, nothing's gonna change if the door's
for
open.
The Holy Spirit.
Yeah. Leave room for Jesus. That's true.
So I don't know. I think everyone's the asshole in this situation.
Yeah, that's definitely a good way to look at it. Because I didn't think about the enabling side of things. Because essentially, like you teach people how to treat you, right? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, like if you don't like tell this guy, like, hey, like I'm uncomfortable with taking up so much, of the payment of all these things, like he's gonna keep, taking advantage of that, like if that's a good word for it, right?
I don't necessarily think it's as malicious as taking advantage, but I think he's gotten very comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable is a better way to say it, yeah.
And like, as an aside, I'm an old lady. I'm in my 40s. So I 100% look at it as if your life is not together, you should not maybe be in a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Because there's too much that's up in the air and too much can change and you don't know where you're going to land.
Yeah. 100%. Because they're like 24 and 25, right?
Yeah, they're young.
Yeah, they are young. But a lot of people, like, because I'm 23, a lot of people are starting families too at this age, right? Like, how can you expect to like project for a family or a future or a house even, like in this kind of
in this
age.
Economy?
Yeah, in this economy. It's impossible.
Impossible. Yeah. I just feel like this guy's got some stuff, some work he's got to do before they can be looking at like, playing house. Yeah. I think he's got to face some hard truths about that and just kind of get uncomfy with the idea that he's got to take up more in that relationship and stop dropping out of his college programs. That's crazy. Right?
Or
that's like,
whatever.
What a waste of money. What a waste of money.
Yeah. They don't this isn't free.
He doesn't have money to, buy her dinner, but he's got money to false start 3 degrees.
Yeah. Oh my God. And depending on the degree, those things go like upwards of like 10K. Like it's crazy.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Right? That's
My
nuts.
goodness. Yeah. No. I think everyone's the asshole in this situation.
Okay, you know what? I can side with you on that one. I can side with you on that one. Yeah, no, they just need to have a good sit down, I swear. Sometimes, like, and who knows, maybe he just, like you said, because he's being enabled, like he didn't realize that it's like this. So he just needs a little bit of a wake-up call, I think.
Push.
Yeah. And it also depends, too, like, how he was raised, because I think a bunch of people, like, they act like how they were raised. Like I know a good handful of people that don't necessarily like have motivation to I don't know how I want to say this, have motivation for life because a lot of things are handed to them, so they just think that things are going to continue to be handed to them, but you have to work for things, especially 100%. Now
100%.
Right?
Yeah, I know, like, what do they call it, nepo babies?
Oh God, yeah, that's true.
Maybe like he could be come from like a fairly well-off family and life has been pretty easy for him. And it sounds like she's really willing to sacrifice her own comfort in order to reach the goals that she wants to reach.
Yeah, also good for her. Did she say she's like,
she opened her own practice?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like
good for
24,
her.
Already a practicing lawyer? What?
Like that's nuts.
Yeah.
That's a year from where I am and I'm nowhere close to
Let's
that.
not talk about what I was doing at 24.
Fair. Yeah,
it definitely wasn't running my own show.
Yeah, no, actually though, good for her. Like that's crazy. And he's probably seeing like her success. And like, again, like I don't want to make it sound like he's doing this, on purpose or like that he's necessarily a bad guy. But when someone's with someone who is successful like that, they're like, oh, great. I can just not do anything. And like that.
It's the coaster.
Yeah. Yeah. Like unless it's like predisposed that that's how the relationship is going to be, it's not necessarily the best, Yeah. Yeah. Because like personally, like 50-50 relationships is such a difficult topic because like personally, I would love someone that took care of me. But like at the same time, it would have to be like something that's like in the relationship contract. Like it'd be like, I'm, X amount of years older than you. I have this much more like, assets, whatever. Like I can take care of you while you're, going to school or doing this and that. Like some people are like that out there.
But let's be real too. Like if someone is being taken care of, as you said, chances are if you're like a stay-at-home mom or a housemaker, like you're doing a lot more stuff. Like what does it cost to have a full-time housekeeper and a chef and someone do your laundry? Like just because you're not contributing financially wouldn't mean that you're just
like you're just sitting around. 100%. Like you're the house manager. Like you take care of like everything that goes on at home while they take care of things outside of home. They always have like a clean home to come home to and all that. Like a lot of people are really into that, you know? So mad respect for that.
I could
100%.
not.
You're not into that? No, what would you like instead?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Can I just sign up for like a stone cottage in the woods where the kids tells like, urban legends about me?
You'd be like the witch in the forest kind of thing?
That's what I want. I don't want anybody to rely on me. I don't want anyone relying on me. No, thank you. I don't want to rely on anybody. No, thank you.
I love it. Make stew in your pot and stir it like this.
Bubble.
Tired and trouble. Okay, you know what? Actually, I'm changing my life path. That sounds quite great. Have like an obscene amount of animals just like float around your house for some reason. Yeah.
And if they could do like a song and dance number.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And like never wear pants.
Never.
Just either skirts or nothing. That'd be me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
No, pants are like prisons.
Yo, gone, yeah. I wouldn't be wearing them now if I was allowed to.
Same.
Next episode, we'll work on it.
We'll work on it.
But I like that.
All right. So final consensus.
Yeah.
Who's the asshole?
For me, I don't know. I think I kind of agree with you on like just generally like everyone has their part in this because like I 100% agree. Everyone's kind of the asshole.
That's it. Clang clang. Judgment is in. Everyone sucks here.
Yeah. They need a talk. And I hope it goes well.
We wish you luck.
Yeah, we wish you luck, you girl boss queen, for, starting your own practice. Good for you.
Final consensus, everyone's the asshole. Everyone sucks here.
Everyone sucks all around. All right, so overall, like, how do we feel about 50-50 relationships?
I think we need to define what that 50-50 is before we can answer. Mm-hmm. Is it 50-50 financial, 50-50 domestic, 50-50 childcare and raising? True. There's so much that goes into it that saying like an exact 50-50 doesn't necessarily compute. Mm-hmm. If you're a couple of dinks, the double income, no kids.
Oh,
you never heard that? D-I-N-K, double income, no kids. Yeah. So if you're a couple of dinks and like there's no real added pressures at home, then 50-50 I think should be more based on your income versus like a straight line down the middle. If someone's making $100,000 and someone's making $40,000, the person making the $100,000 maybe should be kicking in a little bit more for the mortgage. Yeah. And maybe the person making $40,000 pays the utilities. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like a 70-30 and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. I was in a relationship once where like I was, my partner didn't like, it was like a 70-30 because I was just had like a part-time job and he was like an airplane engineer, So it was, right. So it's like, even when we were talking about like paying for the rent, I was like, well, I'll pay half. He's like, no, like, you're going to pay like a quarter of it. Cause like, let's be realistic about like what won't set you back compared to like what I'm being paid. So like these conversations with your partner is so huge, right? Because then you could just be real with them and be like, hey, this is what I can bring to the table financially. And, then if there's gaps that need to be filled, like maybe your partner can, like I'm so huge about communication. Just talk about it.
Yeah. Obviously, if you don't talk about it, you're never going to like reach a solution. But same thing, like you were saying, you paid 30%, but you work part-time. So I'm guessing he never had to do his own laundry.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. And like the apartment was clean. Yeah. There was always like, I always made the food, like, the laundry was done, and he was, a good, like couple years older than me too. So it was like, I don't know, it was a good balance of things, which was very nice.
Yeah, see, that's what I like to see in partnerships, because that's what it is, right? Not everything needs to be this like laser line down the middle of the sand. You know, this is yours. It doesn't have to be like that. You know, 70-30 financially speaking worked for you, and then 30-70 household duties also worked for you.
Yeah.
So it ends up balancing out as long as everyone is like, you know, pulling their weight, you know, and everything's getting taken care of. And if someone's getting burnt out on one end or the other, like that conversation just needs to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. As long as everyone feels like it's, you know, it's fair. And if I'm not like demanding like a keg dinner every like night or other night, you know, like I feel like there's definitely a balance that can be had. You brought up a good point too, which is 50-50 parenting, which is huge. No one ever talks about that side of things. Whenever they talk about 50-50, they always assume financial.
Yeah. They don't talk about the household, like, you know, jobs.
Yeah.
They don't talk about the rearing the kids.
Yeah.
Like even stuff like grocery shopping. Like my last relationship, my partner hated going to the grocery store. Hated it. I work next door to one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So we compromised.
Yeah.
He would pay for one of those like meal prep box things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he did that, which was 3 meals a week.
Okay.
I would buy groceries on my way home from work
Okay.
for 3 meals a week. And then once a week we went out.
Oh, all right.
Right?
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah. And if I didn't want to buy groceries on my way home from work, I would have them delivered.
Yeah.
Because that was my responsibility, is to cover those 3 meals.
Yeah.
And it was his responsibility to cover the other 3 meals. And other than that, we were on our own, fending for ourselves like the feral children that we are.
I love that. It's like a pantry dinner, you know, like whatever.
Girl dinner.
My favorite thing has been seeing the girl dinner, and there's always going to be the opposite. There's been the boy dinner, which is insane. Like there's been like people making videos of like boy dinner. It's like, you know, like the Costco hot dogs that are like $1.
Yeah.
Someone walked out with like a bag full of like 20 of them. They're like, boy dinner. And I'm like, hell yeah.
And then there's girl dinner, which is you just go around and hit all of the sampling plates 8 times.
Actually, me when there's Krispy Kreme available in Costco every once in a while.
I went to Costco for the first time like recently, and I was like running a train on those sampling stations. Nom, 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 nom.
There was one time where there was like the Krispy Kreme, and then there was like the hummus station really nearby. I swear my steps were like crazy that day, just back and forth. I had my wig, so just like I was a different person every time because they
put it on sideways.
Yeah, exactly. A little baseball cap, and then put it on backwards the next time. They never know.
Sunglasses right over top.
Oh, yeah.
Cousin It styles.
Yeah, 100%. But just like the layers of them, so when you walk away, you just rip them off and you're ready to go.
We laugh, but we've all done that.
We laugh. It's funny because it's true.
Or then you're just like me, and I'm like, you know, 0 Fs can be found.
Yeah.
And I just like dead eye them, like as I like take 3.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Are you
Nothing.
gonna stop me? You're
don't
behind
care.
that counter. What are you gonna do? Hop the counter?
They don't care. They work for they're working for what? Maybe minimum wage, like maybe just above.
And they're like on the 10th hour of their shift. Their eyes are just glazed over
standing
at
on
that
concrete.
point.
They don't care.
Yeah,
take
no.
all the samples.
Yeah,
Take
they're
them all.
like they're not even seeing anything anymore.
No.
They're just totally clocked out.
Totally clocked it.
But anyways, sorry to derail here. But yeah, no, I think that was a really brilliant idea of you guys to do like a balanced like grocery trip, because you don't realize like how intense grocery shopping is, especially for the whole house. Because it's not just like going there; it's being the one to remember what you need, and you know
That takes up a lot of like mental real estate.
yeah,
And I think a lot of, and I'm not going to turn this into like a crapping on the other gender or anything.
Yeah.
But I definitely have found in my own experience in my relationships, the male partners that I've had, they don't think about the household in the same way.
Yeah.
And it's like impossible to get them to do it.
Yeah.
And like the number of times I would like go over to like my boyfriend's house.
Yeah.
And I would show up at the door, and he would have this like frantic look on his face, and I'd be like, "What's up?" And he's like, I got to run out for a real quick second." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Okay.
And he leaves, and he comes back with like a thing of toilet paper, and I'm like, "How do you run out?"
Yeah, because like, what are you gonna do? You're stranded.
Yeah, because like I've definitely been like, oh, this is the last roll.
Mm-hmm. And you make a mental note
And
of
you
it.
make a mental note and you pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that does not.
It doesn't compute.
It doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Syntax not found. Like,
Error 404. That's so true.
Yeah, and I just feel like it's not something that they are taught.
I was gonna say it's the way that you're raised,
Yeah.
right? I had a friend, like there's two different sizes because I had a friend that was raised in like an all-female household. Mom only, 4 sisters.
Whoa.
Yeah. He was very in tune with, like he was the one that was like sent for groceries sometimes. Like he was in tune of what they needed, like stuff like that.
Oh, he's like
right?
a little Kevin McAllister.
Literally, it was great. He was very sweet. and then there's like the side where it's like either like the only child that didn't really have, and I am an only child, so I can speak on that. There you go, right? There's different types of only children where like there's one that don't have to do that much. And like when it comes to like when they're an adult, you can definitely tell because it's, it's like, okay, well, you have to think of these things.
Oh my God. I was a latchkey kid at 7. So I'm like the hyper independent only child.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So like, making dinner at 9.
What does latchkey kid mean?
Oh my God, you're so young.
I'm so sorry.
It means you go home to an empty house.
Oh, same.
And, yeah.
Okay. Twins.
I am either really old or you are really young.
I was born in 2000. I love everyone's reaction whenever I say that. It's never good.
I'm really glad I have a Botox appointment next week.
Oh, no.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, boy.
You know what? We're just going to put a pin.
Yeah.
In that.
It's a later discussion. But no, I feel that. My mom, she was a single mom and worked her ass off to make sure that we were okay, right? Like we were in like subsidized housing. Like so I found that like when you're in that situation, you mature very fast. Very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I remember when I was like 6 years old, I made myself a salad, but my salad was just grabbing a head of lettuce from the fridge and just eating it like an apple for some reason. I don't know why I thought that was a great idea.
I have the exact same memory.
Okay, great. We're on the same vibe.
Yeah, single mom.
Yeah.
Mom worked her butt off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% remember sitting like crisscross applesauce, like watching cartoons, like just ripping into this head of lettuce.
Oh my God, it's like looking in a mirror.
So I remember I told my one partner that, and he was an only child, but grew up like with like very affluent parents, and he was like, "You had lettuce for breakfast?" And I'm like, "It was a salad."
To correct you, actually, it was a salad. I worked very hard.
It's labor intensive.
Oh man, I love that. But you know what though? I think growing up that way, like you have a better understanding of what your house needs, of what you need.
100%.
And like you also kind of like have an appreciation for your mom too. I found when I grew up, like I reached a point where I'm like, wow, mom really did that, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I didn't get it when I was a kid, obviously, because you're a kid, but then you grow up and you're like, wow. And that is a 100% household right there of the mom just freaking taking care of everything, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. But yeah, I just, when it comes to like running a household, some people have their strengths and those are somebody else's weaknesses. And as long as everyone can find something that works for them, regardless of whether or not it's 50-50, as long as everything's being taken care of and no one is feeling burnt out, no one is feeling taken advantage of, it's fine. Yeah.
I like the way you said that too. Like it's like a weakness because it's not like, not a lot of people do it maliciously, like you're saying earlier. Like it's not like they're purposefully not thinking to do this. It's just like the way they're raised, or it's just the way their brain works, or they're super busy, or like there's stuff like that where it's a weakness where they don't think the way that, you do in regards to taking over like the house stuff. Cause I see videos and it's funny actually, there's been a lot more videos from like husbands who have been, saying like, if your wife asks you to, or I don't know, like if there's a task on the list to do something like this, don't ask her how to do it. Don't ask her what you need for it. Like, there's a way to go and find out that information.
The weaponized incompetence.
Yeah.
That's a whole other topic.
That's true. We should save that for another.
Let's put a pin in that one.
Oh boy,
we'll come back to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because man, I got tales to tell. Okay, I'm going to lighten it up. How many dates does it take for you to know whether or not you want a relationship with that person?
1. Because I am a hopeless romantic.
Ew.
I'm so bad. I know. I've been burned so badly. So you'd think that I would be like, no, but
Are
for
you a
some reason-
Capricorn?
No, I'm an Aries.
Oh,
But
weird.
I was supposed to be a Pisces.
Mm.
So I wonder if that doesn't.
Maybe.
What about you? What are you?
I'm a Sagittarius.
Oh my God, that's why I love you. I love Sages.
I mean, my best friend is an Aries, and
Ah.
I only really like fire signs. And my one friend who's a Capricorn.
Yeah. We're like the trio. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
It's because nobody else can stand being near us. It's too hot.
I absolutely love that. I knew we got along for a reason. It's all coming together now.
Everything is happening.
It makes sense. But yeah, no, to answer your question, I think it really is one, because it's like when you are a good, like, I don't want to like toot my own horn, but when you're like a good judgment of character, like when you can really like, vibe check someone, after like the first 5 minutes.
Oh, 100%.
You're like, or, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No,
Yeah.
100%. I am a judgy. I'm a judgy bitch. And it's not like, I'm not like, are you wearing last year's Prada? Like, no, it's not that. It's, you give me a bad taste in my mouth.
And that's valid. And I think nowadays too, it's almost kind of like your gut protecting you from stuff. Because there's so much stuff that happens.
So much stuff.
Oh God.
So much stuff. But yeah, like I apple picking was a first date.
Oh, okay.
Super nice guy.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. No, thank you.
Yeah, they could be super nice, but it's just if you're not feeling it.
Yeah, the vibe just wasn't there.
What are you supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was stuck in a corn maze with them.
Okay, that sounds like a horror film.
Actually, it was fine. It was
okay.
fine. Yeah, it was just very nice. Very nice.
That's good.
And I'm like, we definitely were like going to hang out again, but I was like, just so that we're clear.
Yeah.
Platonic.
Yeah, I mean, but that's also nice too, right? Like I'm a huge I vouch for having opposite gender friends. I love that.
100%.
Yeah. Like I have like so many guy friends that I game with, or like, it's part of a larger friend group. I think having that is very healthy.
I don't have as many as I used to, but I used to like be that girl that had like, one girlfriend and then the rest of my friends were dudes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm 100% supporter of the intergendered friendship.
Yeah. I mean, same here. I was the same, like where, for the most part, a lot of my friends were guys at a huge point, especially like through high school, stuff like that.
Same.
And I feel like there was an era where like a lot of girls are making fun of those kinds of girls for some reason. But it's just, sometimes it just happens.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like we're, searching specifically guys to be friends with. It just sometimes it's just how the vibes are.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, for myself personally, I had like a group of girlfriends that were kind of shitty.
Yeah.
And eventually I got and eventually I got tired of being the punching bag of the group.
Yeah.
Because it was always me.
Yeah.
And eventually I was like, I'm out.
Good for you.
And I went and I made new friends.
Good for you.
And it just so happened that they were dudes.
You know what? Screw it, right? Like if that's what happens, and good for you for getting out of that. It's so difficult to notice, like
especially as like a teenager.
Oh,
like it was like first year of high school.
Oh.
And I was like, all right, here I go into the brave world somewhere. This is either going to go real well.
World. And then you're just smacked right back down.
Yeah. This is either going to go incredibly well or I'll be in therapy until I'm 70.
Oh, yeah. I feel that. I feel like, there's definitely a certain kind of person that has bad relationships with girl groups. I had my girl group in high school, I was definitely like on the outskirts of it. And then there's this one girl in it that made it, and I don't know, I'm just going to air this out on here. She made it her duty to try and date everyone that I liked. To the point, 100%. To the point where like I would make up people. Like I would like make up, I like that guy, just walking down the hallway. And the next day, not even 24 hours later.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, that's rotten.
Yeah.
Yeah. My best friend's like, I want you to hook up with my friend, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, yeah, have him send me a message, give him my number. She's like, just so you know, like I used to like hit that. And I'm like, ugh. Like, maybe not so interested now.
Yeah.
Feels a little too close.
Oh, 100%. It's like they're trying to like take ownership of that too. It's like, I did this first. And I'm like,
no, she's not like that. She like really wants me to like hook up with them. She's just like,
okay.
as a heads up.
Gotcha.
Like,
Okay.
you got some big boots to fill.
Fair.
And I'm like, yeah, I got these and you don't. So it's all good. It's fine. It's
I love
fine.
that. Absolutely love that. Oh Lord. But yeah, anyways, we keep getting derailed. But to answer your question, yeah, definitely first date. If not first date, then second date. But for the most part, like even sometimes just even like when you're talking to them before the date.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll make a plan.
You can catch the vibe.
And then something will happen. I'm just like, I'm all of a sudden busy. I'm sick on Tuesday. Yeah. Like, and then that just happens.
Yeah. No, 100%. I'm definitely, if I don't feel it date one, I don't go back for more.
Because like your time is valuable,
100%.
right? And you're allowed to be picky. This is one thing that I'm trying to teach myself is you are allowed to be picky.
No is a full sentence, and you don't have to explain yourself. If it's not there, it's not there.
Yep. 100%.
But speaking of things being valuable, who should pay for the first date?
Ooh. Okay. Okay. I'm probably going to get hate for this, but honest gut answer is I do think that the man should pay. I'm kind of a traditionalist, but at the same time, whoever's idea it is for the date would definitely be a good idea too for whoever pays. Or you could just, I'm giving all the answers, or you could go 50-50. But I'm just like...
So the answer is all of the above.
All of the above. I'm just trying, I don't know. Yeah, I think that it should be whoever comes up with the idea to go on the date, but I also think that the man should ask to go on the date. So that's why it kind of like ends up circling around. But I don't know. That's,
Personally, I always try to pay my own way.
Okay, I like that.
But that's just because I'm an old lady. And if I want to leave, if I'm like, you know what, Matlock's on, gotta go, I'm gonna just throw money on the table and I'm gonna dip.
Okay, you know what? That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
If the other person pays, you have to wait until the very end.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you pay for your side, like that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm really good at mental math, so I just keep like a running tally like in my head. I'm like, okay, I've had
Add
87.
tax, add tip.
Yeah, I've had 87 whiskeys, so like that'll be $42 done. Perfect.
Oh, okay. I should start bringing cash to my date. I'm learning here.
Yeah.
Like I bring cash, be like, all right.
Because I work in like a tip-heavy industry, so I always have cash.
Fair.
And I keep it. I always have a little stash with me when I'm going on a first date.
Good idea.
And yeah, when we've hit the like.
Yeah. When you run out of things to say and it's just the vibes are kind of weird.
I mean, like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, exactly. And like my cat needs me. I'm sorry. I need to get home.
Yeah. Meow. Oh, he's calling me.
Hello? Oh, you need dinner? Okay, I'm coming home. Absolutely love that. Yeah, like I'll just like kind of leave, be like, I'm going to the bathroom. Find your waitress on the other side of that. I'll just pay for my side.
Oh, I see. I don't subterfuge. I don't.
You're using words I don't know.
Not sneaky about it. I'm very blunt about it.
Fair.
So like if it's not going well, I'm just gonna be like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave this here.
Good for you.
And I'm gonna go.
Good for you.
I'm like, stay, finish your drink.
Yeah. Finish your appetizers, whatever you got. Yeah.
See you later.
Good for you. I should be more like that. I'm a little scared of the men of my generation, so that's why I'm like.
I mean, I only date men of your generation.
I love that. As you should.
Yeah.
They're kind of rough though, so we're both in this boat together, I guess.
Let's paddle, baby.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay, so we're dating. How do we meet people? Are we meeting people online, in person, on apps? Like, what works for you?
Personally, like. I don't really go out. So like I definitely use apps more often. Also, I live in like not Toronto. So everyone that's in my town, like once you've met, the 5 people that live there, you've met them all, you know, like, so there's no one else that you can meet like when you go out kind of thing.
Right.
So I find that like, meeting people online has been easier because I've met with like people that are more east or more west or whatever, right? Anywhere but where I am, and it's been better. But the only thing is that when you date people online, they pretty much only want like one thing from you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So what about you? Sorry.
I use all the apps.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's you see all the same faces.
Yeah.
There's about 17 single men in Toronto. That's what it feels like. because I see the same faces like
so
every day.
We
And the
all
thing is I'm like, are you just making a new account like all the time?
True.
Because that's the whole point is like once you
Yeah.
swipe left, you're
Yeah.
never supposed to see them again.
Yeah.
Yet
You see
here
them
he is again.
Yeah.
Like
I was told that the reason why they pop back up is because they liked you. So the app so the app wants you to like them. You know what I mean?
no, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank
Do you
you.
use Hinge?
That's probably the one I got the least amount of success on.
Really, eh?
Because I'm old.
Oh, I wouldn't even say that. But that's good to know because like I've started using Hinge and it's a little different. Like there's different like prompts and stuff on there. I mean, they all boil down to be the same thing.
Yeah.
I hate Bumble. I'll tell
See,
you right
Bumble is
now.
where I get the most success.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Hinge because
Yeah.
it allows you to send a message without having to wait to match.
Yeah. Oh, true. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah.
You kind of like are in like the little heart section where you like you could kind of go through. I like that. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. Like all of the apps are pretty trash unless
Yeah.
you're willing to pay for them.
Yeah. And
Because
you can
like,
always tell.
there was I don't know who did it, but there was like an expose about how they actually will
Okay.
keep profiles that synchronize with yours like really well.
Yeah.
They'll actually keep them from you unless you pay.
Shut
And then the
up.
minute you pay, like they push all those profiles to the forefront.
Shut up. You're
Yeah.
kidding. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's very sketchy.
That is sketchy. Yeah, I don't like that much.
But yeah, no, I like the apps. I try to swipe with intent.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I know a friend of mine, he told me that when guys go on, they're just like, right, and it's the if I put enough fish in this barrel, eventually I'll catch one. Whereas I'll go on and be like I actually have an issue. I'm going to physio because I have an issue with my
You're
thumb
kidding.
from swiping left.
You're kidding.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
and well, I cut hair too, so it's the same thumb.
True, but for the main point.
But the issues arose. The issues arose when I started using dating apps, and like
Oh, yeah.
I
no,
can
that's
feel
so
this movement down here. Like,
Jesus.
I have swiper's elbow.
Your thumb is swiper's elbow. Your thumb is just gonna be
Thumb-a-thumb.
jacked. Like it's just gonna be like Popeye in the thumb. Yeah,
Don't
I
thumb
absolutely
war
love
me.
that. Oh my god. Ooh. I don't know why I got excited by a thumb war. I'm like, we should do that. The table's too long, but we should do that. But that's interesting. I've also started to do kind of more like picky swiping for sure. Like because you can kind
swiping
of,
with
you know,
intent.
check the vibe, right? Read the bio.
Yeah.
Sometimes
If
like,
there is one.
if there is one. Sometimes I'll read a bio and it'll be like, oh, you know, it's not a vibe.
Okay. It's not on the list that we have put together for like questions, but I'm going to do it. Top 5 red flags in a dating profile.
Oh, okay. I actually saw one the other day. I wish I remember the exact quote that he said, but he essentially said like putting not here for hookups in a Tinder bio is like saying like, you know, I'm not here for pasta when you go to an Italian restaurant or something like that.
Right.
And I'm just like, for some reason, that just hit me the wrong way. It's like, well, some people aren't here for hookups, sir.
Yeah.
You know,
Just
that.
because you are and you're failing miserably doesn't mean you have to be rotten to the rest of us.
Exactly. You know, it's just the vibes are
Yeah,
horrendous.
the vibes were not immaculate.
Yeah. Yeah. Another one was someone put their like penis size in their bio.
So we all know that's a lie. Guaranteed. So why my dumb pet trick, like that's the thing that I can do that most people can't, is I can eyeball an inch from like across the room.
Okay.
I've worked as a hairstylist for 23 years.
Okay, that makes sense.
I sew.
Yeah.
I do all these things where I'm looking at measurements all day long. So
Yeah.
it's like trained my eye. And I'm usually within a quarter inch accurate.
Okay.
And the funniest thing is like dudes will send me like the unsolicited peen pic.
Yep.
And he'll be like, oh, how do you like my 8 inches? I'm like, you mean 5 3/4, right?
Not the exact measurement.
Because like,
And
and like,
you can't fool me.
yeah, and I'll get a ruler.
Yeah.
Get
oh
a
my
ruler.
God.
And I'm
Oh my
always right.
God.
Within a
love
quarter
that.
inch.
I love that. Or like the people that grab like a regular size soda can and then they put it next. Have you seen those? They're like, look how big I am. And it's like, have you seen a soda can in real life? Like, not to like, you know, size shame you, because I'm not a size queen by any means, but it's like they
But
just
it's
like,
it's not the monument they think it is.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I've definitely seen the like come here for my insert false measurement.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
My big one, which is super arbitrary,
Oh, okay.
and I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. When they put quotes from The Office, like the American The Office.
No, but I get that though.
I have never dated a
Yeah.
guy who was like a huge fan of The Office that wasn't a walking red flag.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Don't know.
It's like how they have like bands that are red flags for men. It's like that's one of them. It's like for a show. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I don't know what it is. I also like personally like I can appreciate The Office, but I never really watched it or was that into it. So like I think like when someone is like super into it, like yeah, I can definitely agree with that. I saw also it was on Hinge and one of those prompts where someone was like, we can talk about who was funnier, Will Ferrell or Adam Sandler, and I'm like, left.
And like
Sorry.
those are like my comedy guys. Like that is my generation. And if we're even having the discussion and it's just not automatically Adam Sandler, like that's a left. That's a left for me.
I love that.
My other like automatic, like this is like red flag.
Yeah.
Is the empty bio.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like, if it's like Hinge where you have to complete X number of prompts and they just do like,
Yeah.
or like question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
if you cannot do the absolute bare minimum
The
to
bare
complete your own elevator pitch, because that's what this is. Yeah. If you cannot take the 5 minutes out of your busy schedule to try and pitch yourself to me, like that's a no for me, dog.
That's a nay.
That's a nay. That's a like.
Oh no! Wait, I just broke it.
That's a swipe. Like we're done.
That's a pass.
That's a pass.
That's a large pass right there.
Yeah, I pass.
Oh no, I feel that 100%. There was one that I saw where like because it was on Hinge, but all of the answers were sorry, I just broke it. Were you, just the letter U, like as in like you, but like you can't even spell the word you.
It's 3 characters.
Literally.
It'll probably autocorrect. Like
just you can spell it wrong and they'll help you out.
Right.
Like it just shows that like the personality just might not be there. And it is with, I'm gonna sound terrible, but it is with a lot of like people that are, what's the word for it? But just like pretty in like a popular sense. Like when like, what's the word for it? Where it's like,
I don't know, because I've never been it.
Oh fuck. Oh, I forget the word. It's oh man. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is like when someone is like, a lot of people think that they're
like pretty privilege.
Yeah, right. So they think that they can get along with like not putting in any effort. They just are like, well, I'm just pretty, so I have no personality. Essentially,
I mean, if it wasn't for my personality, I'd be screwed.
Me. I grew up like so like not to diss my young self, but I was so like, for lack of better words, like fat and not very good looking. So like you have to build a personality when you're
100%.
Like
I mean, I was like super skinny growing up, but I was like bullied mercilessly.
oh my God.
Yeah. And so I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm weird and it's okay.
100%. I love that. I feel like the trauma also does that to you too.
I mean, yeah, it's like,
we love trauma.
Is it your personality or is it your trauma?
It's both.
Both.
Yeah, no, I feel like that when you grow up in a life like that, it definitely forms a good personality.
100%.
Oh boy.
Okay. What is the biggest ick like that happens like early in a relationship?
When someone when someone is too sexual with me, but there's a difference because like sometimes like, I'm a very sexual person. So like, it's not like I don't want to be sexual, but when I'm first meeting you and like, that's all you can talk about, like go away,
So boring.
Yeah.
It's so boring.
It is. Cause like, I don't even know you, like we haven't even like formed that connection yet. And yet like, we're now like, it's so different when you don't know someone like that.
And like, I don't know what it is, but it definitely like because I'm old, I've been online dating for a long time since before you were born, probably. Well, you're an Aries?
March 21st. Yes.
Okay. So, 100%.
Are you down? You know what? Down to the month? Oh my God.
Because I would have started online dating my first year of university, which would have been 1997.
Oh my God.
So like definitely.
Wow.
So yeah, I've been online dating for a long time,
Yeah.
and I've definitely found dating post-pandemic, there's a lot more of the like immediate like dirty texting.
100%. I was talking to a guy earlier today, and he was like, I'm just trying to be like, hi, like, how are you? You know, and he's like, well, I've been laying in bed for 4 days, and it made me really horny. And I'm like,
Ew.
Awesome. I'm just not going to respond to that one.
That would just be like an unmatch.
No, actually, though.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I definitely had this, and the young ones really like me right now, which is,
I love that.
I love that too.
Yeah.
But there is like a maturity that is lacking.
100%.
And yeah, this guy, like, I've told him like 8 times. I'm like, listen,
Okay.
you don't even live here. Like, I'm not entertaining this. Like, stop it. So I
Yeah.
will unmatch him, but then he'll like rematch me because of the app that it is. You can
Oh, okay.
like rematch. Like once you unmatch, it doesn't like take you away forever.
Stop.
You can start a new chat.
That's unfortunate,
No.
isn't it?
And I haven't figured out how to block him yet because I spend so little time on that app.
Yeah.
Because it really is the dregs of society on there.
Yeah.
It's awful.
That kind of sounds entertaining, though.
It makes you kind of feel bad about yourself.
Oh, no.
And it's like,
okay.
what makes you think I would be interested?
They don't think, though. That's the thing. Well, I'll stop you right there.
I'll stop you right there, sunshine.
There's no thought to be had.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, I want to take you out.
Yeah.
Back and shoot me, please? Like, no, thank you.
To a field and walk 20 steps away. Like,
Yeah. But
no.
yeah, this kid, he keeps starting these new conversations. And, you know, last night he was like, does height matter to you? And I was like, no. And he's like, does dick size matter to you? And I was like, yes. And he's like, good, because I've got like 10 inches for you. And I was just like,
Ow.
I was like, no, you don't.
You're like, I can tell from a meter away. Like,
Yeah, I can tell from across the room,
from
baby.
across the
Like,
room, baby.
And then he's like, and I literally sent the like emoji, like the
Yeah.
yawning face emoji.
Good for you. That's funny.
And he was like, what? And I was like, that's boring.
That is boring.
And
Like, have a
he's
little
like-
bit of spice.
He's like, it won't be boring when I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, 3 yawns.
Increased yawn.
I was like, what you don't understand is that as women exist on the internet,
Yeah.
that type of conversation is daily.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You have to like be a little different to stand out, I feel like.
So like somebody else just being a pervert in my inbox,
Yeah.
like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah. In the,
Like-
in the message requests, like we get this all the time.
All the time. All the time. So
Yeah.
if you're going to just be the same as everybody else, like that's boring.
Yeah.
Like at least just like hit me up for my Amazon wish list if you're going to be boring.
Oh, yeah. Then I'll pay attention.
Right?
Yeah.
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 Then I'll answer.
Mm-hmm.
But like, okay, I'm going to go off topic and ask a question now. And I don't know if it's necessarily TMI for the podcast, but like, is there like, are you a size queen? Cause like 10 inches, that would hurt. Would it not? It would hurt me.
I mean, if, how do I put this to keep it so we don't get kicked off any of the platforms?
I realize after asking this that I probably can't, but you know, I want to know.
If you prime the engine properly, things will actually move out of the way,
That's a good point.
right? So I do actually have a biology degree.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I did before I became a
girl boss.
barber and hairstylist. And
Wow.
so that is one of the things that I remember learning
Jack
in
of many
school.
trades. Yeah.
And I was like, my cervix will actually move if things are done
Maybe
properly.
I don't mind large sizes. Just haven't been with someone who has taken the time to make sure.
prime the engine. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm kind of recalling now, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on a second.
Yep. So it's not that you're not a size queen. It's just
Yeah.
that the big dicks you've been with were bad in bed.
Yeah, it's been an unfortunate circumstance for me so far, but I already know that. So.
Okay. All right. So now that we're getting real personal,
Yeah.
do you think it's healthy to share the nitty gritty of your love life with the people around you, like your friends, your family, your workplace?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I tell my mom way too much. My mom, I swear to God, she'll look at me and she'll be like, you stress me out. You know, like I tell her too many details, that's for sure. And my friends too. Like I don't shut up. You know, I wish I could be mysterious. Like, I wish I could be like, what is she thinking? You know, what did she do last night? But I could write it on my forehead if I could. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
So okay. So you like to share,
Yeah.
but do you necessarily think it's healthy too?
No. Not at all. I'm telling you right now.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
I even said to my best friend earlier today, because I was spamming her a whole bunch, and I'm like, you don't even have to respond. I'm just talking to myself at
I
this
just gotta
point.
get it out.
I just got to get it out. I mean, I've been in therapy since I was 4 years old, so I think that's all I know is to just talk.
Just talk it out.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like the opposite. I'm like locked down. Like my best friends obviously will hear like the deets, but like I was at work and I like mentioned that I was going on a date, and like
Yeah.
they were like, "Are you not like married?"
Stop.
And I'm like, "Why? Because I'm old?"
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And they're like, "Well,"
That's hilarious.
and I was like, "Listen." I'm like, just because I'm old doesn't mean like,
Yeah.
you know, the waters are
100%.
dried up yet. If anything,
You're not even old. You keep saying that you're old, but I don't think that you're old.
I could be your mother.
No.
I'm probably older than your
Well,
mother.
No, definitely not. My mom had me really late. My mom had me at 36.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, because I would have been 20 when you were born.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's fair. I know a bunch of people that had kids at like
I wouldn't even have been a
19.
statistic.
Not the statistic.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, boy.
I'm locked down. Like
Yeah.
my best friends, they
Yeah.
get like the dirty details.
Yeah.
But like my roommate, she's house sitting right now, so we're texting.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, what are you doing like this day, like next month?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'll be in Boston." And she's like, "What? Why are you going to Boston?" I'm like, "Well, this guy that I was seeing over the summer, he's gone back to like finish his clinical trials at Harvard. And he wants me to go visit for the weekend."
I love that.
And she's like, "You were seeing someone over the summer?"
Oh my God. Even your roommate.
Even my roommate.
That's
but we're like
hilarious.
ships in the night. Like we work very different schedules.
Okay.
So like I'm up and out in the morning.
Yeah.
And she bartends. So
Oh,
she like,
yeah.
I'm gone like 2 hours before
Yeah.
she wakes up.
That's kind of nice though
Yeah.
for a roommate.
Yeah,
That's
it's
not
pretty
bad.
great.
Yeah. That's not bad at all. But that's hilarious. She's like unlocking little bits of your like lore.
Yeah.
Your backstory.
Yeah.
She's like, wow.
But there was a time when I was working from home, like pandemic times.
Mm-hmm.
And so she saw me an awful lot. And I think learned a little bit too much about me.
Oh boy.
But then I was like, I'm leaving the house to go to work every day.
Yeah.
You'll never see me again.
You'll never see me or hear from me ever again. Who am I? I don't even know.
I'm an enigma wrapped in a mystery.
See, I wish I could be like that. I wish I could be an enigma. I wish I could be mysterious. I just overshare everything.
I did too when I was younger.
Maybe I'll reach a point where I'll be
Yeah.
mysterious, live in the forest.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
We'll be neighbors.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're just going to get like a whole compound of stone cottages.
Oh, I'm into it.
Yeah, into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think talking about your love life to others is like a slippery slope? So you said you like to share. So like once you start sharing, do you just like
Do I
keep
not
going?
shut up? Do you
Yeah.
mean? Oh, I don't shut up. Well, okay. It depends. Because sometimes like I'll read the room and if I like I'm oversharing and I'm talking a lot and the person is just kind of like, you know, I'm like, okay, no, I need to stop. You're not even listening anymore. Yeah, like it definitely, I feel like it can, right? Like if you talk about them something and then it leads to something else and then like sometimes it leads to trauma or like sometimes,
Right.
You know, especially when it comes to like dating and love, right? I feel like we've all had some sort of like traumatic,
Oh, 100%.
you know,
I do a series on TikTok called like Why Are Men?
I'm interested.
I'll send you a couple.
Please do.
Yeah.
I would love that.
And it's literally, and it's not me like necessarily bashing like the gender as a whole.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe that all men are the problem.
Fair.
But
yeah.
the ones that are the problem,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
were you dropped?
Yeah. They were. What happened or what did not happen enough when
Did
you
your
were a
mother not
kid?
hug you enough, or did she hug you too much?
Oh, because that's a huge problem too. Yeah. You see, like that show. This is totally derailing, but when you there's this show out there. It's like the mother and like son that are like super close, but like they go through different moms and sons, and like the mom's like, I'm gonna wear a white dress to the wedding, and I'm gonna
Speaking of giving me the ick.
Yeah, no, that's a huge one. That's a huge one. Yeah. Or like the mom's like, I want to come with you on the honeymoon and like stuff like that. Like you see stuff like that. I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen like clips on TikTok. As,
I
like,
think
everyone
it would
does.
fill me with rage to watch it. I would just be like,
I'd be uncomfy.
because like
I
hate this phrase, like, but I'm gonna say it in this moment. You're like, man up and set a boundary. God
True.
damn, like holy.
Because they're also comfy in that too, right? The
Or
mom's
they're
comfy,
not.
but they're
Or
but
they're not,
sometimes
because
they are.
one of my former partners, his mom was like really pushing for that kind of a relationship.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, you don't even know me, lady. She had this whole idea of who he was as a person, like in her head.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
it was not who he was in the slightest.
Okay.
So like we'd be like out for dinner and I would mention like, oh yeah, and we went to like a live wrestling show this weekend. And she'd be like, you don't like wrestling? And he's like, I've only been obsessed with it since I was 7.
Stop. I hate that.
Yeah. Like
I
she
hate
just has this whole, and so like she just kept trying to like encroach on the boundaries, and he didn't have the schnuts to be like, stop, until I was on the scene and I was like, you stop it or I will.
Yeah.
Because now our lives are entwined.
Yeah.
And I'm not dealing with it.
Yeah, you don't want that third party
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's difficult. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, an unhealthy relationship, whether it's too close or too standoffish, is a big ick.
That's a good point too. I think like a healthy relationship with your family is definitely, I don't know what the opposite of an ick is, but like, you know,
Yum?
when a yum. I love
yum?
that. We'll coin that. It's a yum.
It's a yum for me.
I find it yummy because my parents weren't together, but they were always separated since I was a kid. So whenever I see like families that have like parents that are together, I'm always like, oh my God. So like, I feel like it'd be nice if, you know, I had a partner that was like that, you know?
Yeah.
So at least one family won't be fighting at the wedding. We can have one that's fine.
I mean, just, you don't have to invite them.
I've been such a fan of eloping.
Yeah.
Just saying
Yeah.
goodbye,
Just do it.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just run away.
Yeah. My mom would hate that.
Because like you're paying for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Do
And then
like
you
a
could go
city
somewhere
hall.
nice.
Do a city hall
yeah.
for the parents, and then just go.
Yeah.
Go to Vegas, get married by like Optimus Prime.
Oh my God. I'd be so into that. Like going to like, they have such cool chapels out there. It's so weird, but it's so cool. Wouldn't that be like, that would be a fun story. I feel
Absolutely.
like.
That's absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's really just the ceremony that you get through and then goes from.
And like the thing is you can actually, little tip, you can go to Vegas and get married and come back to Canada and you're not married. You have to pay somebody to sign your paperwork here.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, so you can just go get married to like a different person every week if you wanted to.
I'm gonna add that in my calendar.
I don't know if don't do that. I don't know what the legalities of that is.
I add that to my Hinge bio.
You get like dinged for like polygamy.
Oh my God, that's a good point.
Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that. But I do know that it's not a legal marriage in Canada unless you sign the paperwork here in Canada.
Because I always wondered about that. Like, if you get married somewhere else, like, is it legal back where you live?
Yeah, they actually have their like specific, I don't know what you call them, like officiants. That's the word.
Yeah.
I'm like, I knew there was a word. There's specific officiants, and their whole shtick is that they do like the bare bones, like you literally meet in a coffee shop. Do you? Yep. Do you? Yep. Kablam. Dunk. Done.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds peaceful.
You're right.
I would do that.
Yeah. Hondo.
Over like an apple cider.
Yeah.
You know? Little drink.
Chai latte.
A little chai latte. I would be into that. It's nice and peaceful. And then just like go about your day, do some like fun stuff afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because not everything has to be traditional. My mom would shoot me if I was saying that, because I think like my mom's very chill. She doesn't necessarily, you know, she cares what I do, but she doesn't, you know what I mean? Like I can do whatever, but she used to design wedding dresses when I was a kid. So I think she probably wants to design my wedding dress. I'm assuming. She hasn't said so, but I'm assuming. So I feel like I have to have like some sort of wedding dress included. Oh,
now that you've said that.
Yeah.
What do you, do you think it is a healthy thing to let your mother design your wedding dress?
I think it depends. I think that depends on your relationship with your mom, and it depends on how good they are at making wedding dresses.
But also, like, does she have an image of you in her head that
100%.
is synchronized with who you are as a
Oh,
person.
fair. Sorry, should have let you finish. Probably not. I don't think, the thing is that's a difficult question to ask because I don't think anyone has an idea in their head of who you are truly as a person. No matter how close they are to you, like everyone is going to have, whether they like it or not, a predisposed idea of how your energy is, how you are with this, how you like this, blah, 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 right? Only you know yourself truly. So,
And not even everybody knows themselves, to be perfectly honest.
very true. Very true. So an argument could be made that nobody knows anyone, even yourself, you know? So
Yeah.
I think that like it's, I think that like in my specific situation, like I'd be able to work with my mom to find something that, you know, we both like, 'cause she'd have to, if she's making it, approve it too.
Right.
But to answer your question, like I don't think just her making it herself would know what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Because like I've only worked with you like in the Knotty, like, you know, universe. So we just hang out in our underwear.
Yeah.
But I follow you on social media.
Yeah.
And like you have a really cool, like distinct style.
Oh, thank you.
And so it's like, I know if I let my mom like
Yeah.
design my wedding dress, I would be in like a sack.
Oh my God.
I
you
would
say
be
that?
like up to here, like a big square.
Like a
of
turtleneck?
fabric. Yeah. Yeah. My mom would just be like, cover it up. Cover
Oh, no
it
way.
up.
She's
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we went to like a spa and we had to wear bathing suits.
Oh,
And she was like, are you going to wear a one piece? Right. I'm like,
no.
you're lucky I'm putting a bathing suit on because they're optional.
Me?
Yeah. Like I only put a bathing suit on because I was with my mother
Yeah.
and I didn't want to like freak her out.
Yeah.
And I just remember like standing there and she's like, okay, well, let me have a look at you. And so
Oh
I'm like,
God. You're like, well, I
this
mean,
is what it looks like.
yeah.
And she was like, oh, you actually have like a nice little figure on you. And I'm like, yeah, I do.
Sorry. that just fueled me with rage because I hate those little backhanded comments, you know, when it comes
I
to
don't
stuff
think
like
it was
that.
necessarily like a backhanded comment. My
Okay.
mom, like, she struggled with her weight, like her whole adult
That
life.
generation is bad for that.
Yeah.
eh?
Like, I'm pretty sure, like, the anorexia I dabbled in high school was like a direct result from watching my mom do like 3-day diets in the 80s where they just did
Yeah.
nothing but boiled chicken breast and cottage cheese for 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah. It was rough. My mom
Yeah.
had the same thing. Like, I don't know. I think it's just moms in that generation. Like, they went through, you know, the magazine girls and like you had to be super, super skinny and all that. Like, my mom, when I was growing up, would do juice cleanses where all she would have is juiced carrots for 7 days straight. And then she would go through like her, you know, hormone changes and her emotional stuff with it. Right. And like, I'd be young and I'm like, why? Just eat a thing of rice for the love of God. Yeah.
Put something in your body.
Right. Yeah. Because you don't understand it. But then as you grow up, you start to realize like you just, you know, kind of how we're raised. I mean, like, I feel like this now is starting to be more body positive, which is very nice. I mean, especially like even with the naughty stuff, it's very body positive. But back in the day,
Oh no. No, like I've been a model since I was 10 years old.
Oh my God, good for you.
and I don't
yeah. Yeah.
and like I was real popular,
Yeah.
you know, all through like being a kid, tween, preteen, teen, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I went to university and I didn't gain the freshman 15, I gained the freshman 50. And I got dropped. And the only kind of modeling I could do was like alt modeling.
Okay. Yeah.
Which was fine.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, you want me to wear chainmail and latex? Wicked.
Yeah, I
Like
know,
I'm
that
in.
sounds fun.
That's so cool. That's way more fun than like a catalog shoot.
True. But overall,
But,
it sucks.
You know, because I'd put on weight, I got pushed out of like the spotlight
Yep.
and into like, you know, the nefarious sides of things. I'm air quoting for those listening at home. So yeah, and I got pushed out of like the wholesome side of modeling into like the dirty side.
I hate that. Like I love it because I love the dirty side of things, but I hate that because, you know, you're larger, you get pushed into that kind of like fetishized side of stuff so specifically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's uncomfortable.
But yeah, so like my mom has struggled with her own body image forever. And like, you know, even like the last visit I had with her, we were like walking around Target and she's like, so are you going to try to lose some pounds? And I was like, nope, sure ain't.
You know.
And I was like, until my doctor tells me, like.
Yeah, like until it's necessary, right? But like for the most part, you know, you don't have to for what, right?
Yeah.
Because it's difficult too. Like he's even, you know, I'm just thinking about like how skinny culture was so pushed, because even growing up, I remember like America's Next Top Model. And like even now, like that show cannot exist now. But like I was watching clips from it from like the early 2000s, and the things they would say. Oh, the things they would say.
Well, there was the girl who was the plus size model. I think she won. This would have been in like 2005 or 6, and she was like a size 6, size 8. And I remember like standing in my mom's living room, like you know, like eating an apple or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like watching her like win, and I'm like,
my friend once made me a no flour chocolate cake. It was very dense. I was grateful for the gesture, but it was this thick, and it was because it just fell.
weighs 9 pounds.
Yeah, I know. You just need like a teaspoon of it, because after you're like,
like reconstitutes in your stomach.
yeah. I mean,
I was gonna say it's like the Jetsons, but you don't know what that is.
I did. I do know the Jetsons. I know the Jetsons because my mom. A quick story, because my mom couldn't afford cable, right? We barely could afford a TV. So we would go to the library and we would burn the DVDs, right? And it would be the Jetsons. So I remember sitting and eating my little like pizza pops.
Salad.
Yeah, my little salad, literally. Just crunching away like a bunny and watching the Jetsons. So I do know that one.
All right.
I don't know. I feel pretty fancy.
Showed me.
Yeah, I know, right? You can't see anything because I watched that.
I watched the Jetsons.
The Jetsons and the Flintstones. I was more of a fan of the Jetsons, though.
Yeah, way better.
Yeah. Okay. So, have you seen the figs nurse trend? So, essentially, like women in nursing are wearing figs. It's a new snatched brand for scrubs. How do we feel about it?
I think
Yeah.
that it's great.
Yeah.
If you look good, you feel good, you're going to be more engaged at your work. You're going to do better work. You're going to feel more positive. That positivity is going to spread outward. Because if you're in a bad mood, like we've all done it where we've worn like an uncomfortable bra to work. And like all day, you're just like a little on edge.
I'm a bitch.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah. No, I'm
that
sorry.
anyway. But yeah, then like add like an uncomfortable bra into the sitch. Like that's it. It's game over.
Yeah. Uncomfy
So-
bras, uncomfy shoes. Like
Yeah.
don't look at me. Don't talk to me.
No.
Yeah.
So that's it for us, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Make sure you follow us at Knotty Podcast, and we will see you next week.